friends, my name is Joey. If you're new here, I try to do a monthly try-on video and chat with all the things that I've made on my jewelry channel in the past month. And if you've been here before, you know that I'm usually delinquent in doing so, and I usually have a mess and way too much to try on, but I don't today. And it's kind of surprising because many of you know I posted on my community tab what was going on. So I did want to give you a little update if you're one of those that saw that post. I took my son to the hospital. It's a research hospital about 2.5 hours away, and he gets an infusion. He has Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And we came home and a couple days went by and we got the flu. And we've since learned that all of Gainesville had the flu. Like it was like 100% positive. So I was really, really sick, and my like second to third day of all the flu symptoms, I was like, I almost didn't know if I was going to survive. My son started to be really bad, and he quickly got complications, and I had to get out of a sick bed to take him to the emergency room, and they admitted him to the hospital. And so we were there for a week, and then they released him from that hospital because his doctors in Gainesville wanted to see him again. So I, still very sick, got a hotel room, and back we go to another hospital. And so I'm still coughing a little bit, and I've heard from so many of you, not only around the United States, but my friend in Canada. I have a couple friends in Italy, the UK. I have heard horror stories of how sick this year's flu has made people, and now I'm one of them and my son. So I'm so happy to be here because I am on the mend. I'm still not 100%. I'm still dealing with a lot of coughing and things like that, but I have been able to get back to making jewelry. And I have to say, before I do anything else, I'm going to get emotional. Because so many of you, even though I had said in my community tab that I won't be answering questions or chatting under the videos that were pre-recorded before the illness, so many of you continued to leave comments under my videos, and some of them were really touching. So many of you just seemed to know where I was, that I should have really been in bed myself, but I needed to take care of my son. And a couple of you just like really, your advice was, put the oxygen mask on yourself before you help him. And so for all you moms, and if you're in my age demographic, you could be caring for elderly parents and grandparents. So many of you know what this time in life is like. So I just want to thank you. I don't want to cry. But I want to thank you all for those comments and messages. I just felt really supportive. This is a small community here on YouTube compared to so many others, but it's extremely sweet and kind and creative. And I am so grateful that you kind of gathered around me. And on that note, I got the most amazing package in the mail from my dear friend who I met through my YouTube channel. Her name is Brenda McClendon. She leaves a message under every single video. I've come to know her through private messages. Her husband's name is Robert, and I thank you so much, Brenda and Robert. A package was delivered, a get well package for me and my son, and it was amazing. She had in the package these little sketchbooks. They just have blank pages inside, and she painted these, and her signature is on the front. And so again, if you know me a little bit, you know that I have these little empty sketchbooks everywhere. I actually keep these small ones in my tote bag when I travel. And in fact, the other night, sitting in the hotel room, I had to get my sketchbook out because I had an idea for a bracelet connecting, and I wanted to sketch it out and write some notes. And so she made 2 of these for me. She also sent me some other goodies that I don't have here in front of me, but she sent me these gorgeous, gorgeous pearls. Oh my goodness. They're in a peacock color. They are just absolutely wonderful. So again, I'm working on, for the whole year of 2025, my series called Pearls Reimagined, not here known as Pearls. And I am just dying over those. And then she shared with me a purchase that she did from Vintage, and I absolutely love it. And ironically, this was a sketch that was just in my sketchbook. So Brenda, I don't know how you knew, but this is like a snake chain, but a really small one. And I had just been watching a movie, and the last scene, the heroine of the movie comes onto a dance floor, and she has this beautiful bow necklace made with this kind of chain. And then this package came, and I actually took a picture of the TV screen so that I could duplicate that necklace for myself. And then Brenda sent me this, and then she sent me the cutest message. She said, "Don't laugh. My husband was teasing me because I bought this Mr. T chain." And she said, "Okay, you can laugh, but it's so heavy and the links are huge." And I think Robert was teasing her about having purchased this chain. And she said, "Maybe you can use it for something." It is really huge and chunky. And of course I have an idea because, you know, I just do. So also in her beautiful package was a card and another little surprise for me, and also one for my son. He won't give me his back. He's holding on to his for dear life. But as I said, this community, from the messages to the get well gifts, I don't have words, but just know that I'm very, very grateful. And I know that I don't deserve any of you or any of this, but I'm still, that makes me even more grateful because I know. So let's dive into what I have made this month. I don't even know where to start. I'm actually not behind, but whoops, my little chains are falling. I'm actually not behind, but as many of you know, if you're regular on my channel, I make a lot of jewelry. And so where to start? I think I'm going to start with the ombre collection that I did for Jesse James Beads. So these videos aired on the Jesse James Beads channel as well as on my channel. The first video that I did for them was this set of bracelets. They sent me this gorgeous focal bead to work with and these really unusually cut crystals, and everything was just like delicately ombre from one color to the next. And this is a little bit of paperclip chain from Jesse James Beads, and I did a little bottom dangle. And so this bracelet is fully adjustable. It's one of my favorite ways to make a bracelet and an anklet. And then I did a coordinating one that is a stretch bracelet. You can see it's a stretch bracelet with chain added in. It's a very simple, really fun technique, and you get this like infinity look. A non-jewelry maker, maybe even a jewelry maker, would look at this because my knots are hidden. And you would look at this and say, how is this a stretch bracelet with chain in? And I made them as a stackable, like as a set to wear together. So I just loved those. That was a really fun project with the ombre collection. And a lot of that is still available on the Jesse James Beads website. And so this was the second video that I did with the ombre collection. This is a garden necklace. It has a little bit of everything. It has a component that I make with, this was the ombre collection gemstone, little small gemstone beads. It has a little dangle section. I did some of my specialty spiral beads. I have a video on making these spiral beads, but I make them for a lot of my projects. So I showed how to do that in this video. And I just use these beautiful glass focal beads that are part of the ombre collection, and the same chain that was on my bracelets. This is a no clasp necklace, and this just like pops right over your head. Let me back my chair up, not into my work cart. I have my work cart behind me, and stand up. And so this is what this beautiful necklace looks like with just a few little embellishments here. It's just so pretty and so easy and like spring ready and summer, you know, like going right into summer. So those were my two projects with the ombre collection for Jesse James Beads. And then my collaboration box with Stella of DD Beads was out this month, and we called this one Denim and Diamonds. and it is just so classic and wonderful. So what I did is a necklace. There was this beautiful hook closure in the box, but I only took the round part, the link part of the hook closure, and used the crystals in the box. And I just added in some crackle glass disc spacers. And this is kind of like a minimalist necklace. So let me pop this on, and then I'll show you what is cool about it. If you are a person that likes interchangeable, what I'm doing, in case you don't know, I brush everything with my Permalac anti-tarnish coating when I finish working, including my lobster claws. And sometimes I have to take my pliers and kind of loosen it up after the anti-tarnish coating dries so that the lobster will open. So that's all I was doing, is just kind of is freeing that a little bit so that it works. But I'm gonna pop this on, and so you can see that for me, this is a very just chic, minimalist necklace. But I took the other part of that beautiful connector. Can you see it's just a little hook with this pave ring around the base of the hook, and I took the crystals, some seed beads, and the gemstones, and just did all this handmade embellishment on this little drop. And then this can just hook right in here if I want a more elaborate, you know, if I want like a fancier necklace. So I can wear it plain, or I can add in that drop if I want it a little bit fancier. And I just love interchangeable jewelry. I do love to travel, and so things like this give me a lot of styling options in my suitcase without bringing a lot of things. So I love that. And then along with that box, I'm gonna take my earrings out that I was wearing today. These are my interchangeable ear wires that I make with craft wire. And I have my little drops on today, but with our box, I did these little earrings that will just go with everything, anything that I make, and they match everything else that I did. So they're just so pretty. But let's see if I have them here. Many of you have seen this. These are my interchangeable gold-filled lever back earrings, and these little Saturn drops these little denim and diamond drops will work in those as well. So my interchangeable ear wires that I make, they make the earrings a little bit longer, and the interchangeable lever back ear wires make things a little bit shorter. So that was that pair of earrings. And then I also did a bracelet with the beautiful pave 18 karat gold plated bar. I think it was 18 karat, maybe 14 karat. I don't remember now, but it is gold plated, and it's a micro pave, like CZ, like it truly is denim and diamonds. And there were these beautiful check glass flowers in our box. And I just did this beautiful little, the bar is a very minimalist, very elegant, but I did a tiny little flower dangle on it, and then like a beaded chain with the flowers. And it's just a really sweet, beautiful set. But I did not stop there. I did another video using my Brazilian waxed cord, and it is another like charm bracelet. It's kind of unusual. It's a bit of a charm bracelet, but it has all the elements from the denim and diamonds box, but I added in some lamp work disc beads and some large hole faceted barrel beads. And I took the elements from the box, like the 4mm beads, and turned them into little flower charms with wire. It's a really fun technique, and I show how to do that in this video. I did a seed bead loop. I added in colors to this. So I love to do that. When I get a bead box, I love to personalize it to myself and, you know, change up the look of the curation that's been done. So on this one, I added in some turquoise, some green, and some pink, and just seed beads really, and some crystals from my stash. And I did this one on Brazilian waxed cord, which I love because you get That's one of my favorite stringing ways to string, because you get this like very, very fluid. It's just a really one of my favorite things. As you know, if you've been around my channel, you've seen me do lots of Brazilian waxed cord things. So let me take these denim and diamonds out and show you what I did. I'm going to take this one out too, and I'll show you what I did with the Potomac treasure box. So there were these beautiful check glass flower coin beads. I just added a little bead cap, this frosted bead, and just on craft wire, I did a little method here to just float that coin bead, so all you see is the bead, not a lot of embellishment. And this is another one of my specialty things that I like to make with that wire. I do it with a head pin sometimes, but it is an all-in-one earring. So my earring dangle is here. I did this one with a little downward rod. I really love stick earrings, and I love like downward earrings. And then I turn the rest of the wire into the ear hook. And so I find that I reach for these a lot. They're easy. There's no earring back. They just pop right into my piercing, and they're like quick grab and go, and they're just as fun to make. It's a very quick project. So I have those. Let me take this necklace off. So I did those with a Potomac treasure box, but I did 2 more pairs of earrings with it as well. So there were these Potomac pearls in our treasure box for this month, and these gorgeous little peach twisted kind of rondelles. And again, I did an earring, it's a hoop, and the hoop is on wire, and that wire becomes the ear hook. And you could really do this design where your hoop is facing that way, but I wanted to do it like classic hoops. So I turned it so that these little pearl hoops are, just like a normal hoop earring. They, again, so easy to grab and pop on, and this is a pretty fast project, and all you need is whatever beads you want to use and some craft wire and your tools. And so it's like super fun and easy earring. And so that's in my Potomac treasure box video. And I'll just back up and say, if you've never seen one of my try-on videos before, if you tap more under this video, in my description box, I link the video tutorials in the order that you're seeing my try on. So if you're interested in anything and you'd like to see how I did something, it's right there for you. And if you are, regular here and you miss something, you'll be able to find it. So this was also in the Potomac treasure box this month. There were these adorable little Athena cast, really small tube beads. And I just used these little flower frames that are also Athena cast. I embellished the middle, and I just used a little thread and a wire guardian and just made these really, really pretty. They're a little bit boho, but they're lightweight too. So like for spring and summer, even though they make a statement, they're very lightweight. And I put them on some Athena cast ear wires from Potomac beads, and they're just fun. Like for me, if I wear an earring like this, I'm done. I don't need a necklace or anything else, just my top and my earring. So I just love that. But also with the Potomac treasure box, it was called Pink Lemonade this month. I did this really pretty spring bracelet. So this has a little like flower garden section on it. And I loved these faceted check glass rounds. I think these were they were 12 millimeter, if I remember right. They might be 10, but I think they were 12. And these beautiful little yellow cubes. And so I just did this really sweet, chunky chain, pink lemonade bracelet. And I think it's so pretty. I mean, it's just something that I would wear all the time. The little section that dangles. There's some techniques in here, like for making these little spiral head pins that go in the middle of the flowers. And the other thing that was in the box is a round trio bead. So these are 6 millimeter beads with 3 holes. I don't know if you can see, but there's 3 holes. So if you're a bead weaver or if you like doing multi-strand, it's good for that. But I loved this color. And so, I think sometimes it's overlooked that you can just work with the center hole on a round trio, and then it just becomes, you know, a normal 6mm bead. So that is my Potomac treasure box. And then let's jump to the bargain bead box for this month. Now this is really funny, you guys. In fact, I'm gonna get my other pair of earrings to show you both of these, but and I don't have those here. I'm gonna have to step away for a second. But this was a design. I was sitting in the hospital with my son in a chair, and you know, one of my ways that I calm myself, one of my own like ways of taking care of myself and giving myself therapy is designing and, you know, creating. And so a lot of times when I'm not actually making something, I'm working on ideas in my head. And that's what I was doing to get through some of the long nights in the hospital when we were so miserable. And I was thinking about this style. I started seeing this in the 80s. I used to work for a jeweler in the 80s. And I was on my tablet in the hospital looking for earring backs that had a loop so that I could attach a chain to the back and to the front of the earring. And when I came home from the hospital, my bargain bead box was here, and when I opened it, I couldn't believe my eyes. There were these earring findings with the post and a loop on the front, and they had put in the box the old-fashioned earring backs that you can attach a jump ring to. And I just couldn't believe it. I was like, did they see me in the hospital? Like, I was literally thinking about this design. So on this pair, you put the post in, and then you bring, I don't know if I can do this in front of the camera, maybe I can, but you bring your earring back behind your ear just like normal, but that little jump ring has, you know, is attached to the earring back. So you get this front to back look, and it's very flirty and movable, and you know, it's not crazy, but it's a little bit edgy. It's just really, really a beautiful design. I love the swing of chain earrings. So let me step away and grab the other ones that I did using gold-filled supplies that I was kind of saving for something special. So this pair is kind of the same design, but instead of keeping the chain all one piece, this one has a chain that comes from the earring back as well as a chain that comes from the post. So this is a super easy technique. I used scraps of gold-filled chain. I think I only had like 4 links. 4 links on the front and maybe 8 links on the back. I don't quite remember, but they're so fun. The earring back here has a little, can't get my fingers out of the way. The earring back here, you know, where the loop is, I just put a really small jump ring that I made, and I just chose my favorite beads, some pink tourmaline, some check glass, and, you know, just things that I really love. And so when this is, you know, a front to back look, and it's just kind of a design that I forgot about from the 80s. I got a few messages from some of you who said you still have your like front to back chain earrings. And so let me see if I have them handy. I ordered something to do some more of these, and I didn't have them when I made this video, but they have since come in, and I will put a link to these in the description box because I think these are going to be even better than just the regular old-fashioned earring backs. These are earring backs that are specially designed for droopy ears, or if you have heavy earrings and you need to keep them in the right position. They have that little loop there, which is really not supposed to be a loop. It's really supposed to secure your earrings so that they're not drooping. But wouldn't that be absolutely perfect to put you know, a chain from? Just absolutely perfect. So it has, let's see, yeah, it also has the old-fashioned earring back, but this would go behind your ear. So if you put your earring on that way, you can have your chain coming from the back and then whatever stud you use, you know, have your chain coming from the front. So I found those, and I also found another type. They are also supposed to be for droopy ears, and these are silicone, but they have a little wire loop. So let me see, these might be hard to see because of the silicone. Let me see if I can show you, but it's a silicone earring back, but then there's this little wire loop that's supposed to rest against the back of your ear and keep your earrings from drooping. But again, if you put your earring back on that way, you can have your chain or your dangle coming from behind your ear and in front of your ear. So if you can't tell, like, I had a lot of fun with this design, and it was something that you know, I kept like being so excited to get back to my jewelry making during this rather long, difficult illness. And, you know, so this was like, I think one of the first things I did when I got back to work. So really, really fun earrings. And then let's see what is up next. I'm getting to the end here. Oh, since we're on earrings, let me show you these. So I recently, a few months back, started getting the Adornable Elements Beads of the Month Club. Again, if you know me at all, you know that I adore seed beads. I love them. I do a little bit of bead weaving. I am not an expert. I like to make elements like beaded beads and, you know, like the little beaded rings that I showed you in the necklace. I like to do smaller seed bead projects, bead weaving projects to add into my other designs. But I feel like seed beads are workhorses in design, and I think they get overlooked. If you're a person that doesn't do a lot of needle and thread bead weaving, I think that sometimes you forget how powerful seed beads are as spacers. They make beautiful textural things when you gather a lot of them together. They can extend the length. If you have an expensive strand of check glass or of gemstone beads and you need it to be longer for a design, matching your color and popping a seed bead in between each one, really, they're just amazing. So I started a whole playlist for easy seed bead projects. I think 99% of them you don't need a needle and thread, and this is one of them. So I am rotating the Adornable Elements Beads of the Month Club. I'm getting you can just get the seed beads, but they also have gemstone beads of the month. They have hot and trendy, which is like the like latest bead shapes and finishes. I can't remember all of them. There's six, I think six different clubs, and you can choose just one, or you can choose to rotate all of them. So I'm doing the rotation, and this month they sent me Rocaille seed beads in the 11/0 size, and they're curated. There are 8 different seed beads that work, and that work together. I meant to say, I'm sorry, I'm getting a phone call and it's a little bit distracting. So I did this kind of torsade. Again, if you remember, like jewelry in the 80s, we used to take strands of beads and twist them. And so I did kind of like this torsade style with a large hole crystal spacer bead to top everything off, and a fancy little ear wire, and this beautiful teardrop shape. Again, they're very lightweight, but because of the seed beads, they're highly textural, and you know, they were so fun to make and really fast to make. And you could substitute, you know, small crystals, but I think seed beads work the best for this. So that is what I did with my Adornable Elements, one of the projects. I have some other projects coming too. And then let's see. Oh, so I just saw another pair of earrings. Let me take these out. So I Stella sent me her deluxe check bundle this month. She messaged me and said, you know, I know your video schedule is really full, but she said this month's box is you. It's all the things that you love. And she said, would you like me to send it so you can unbox it and design with it? And of course I said yes, and then I got sick. So that wasn't really planned, but I still was able to get the videos done. It was called Enchanted Pansy. I do believe it's sold out now. She is a boutique bead business. business. Her items are unique and very high quality, but you know, limited supplies, limited quantities. She's, like I say, a boutique bead business. But with the Enchanted Pansy, as I said, I love downward earrings, stick earrings, minimalist earrings. So I just took a little scrap of chain. I had these little leaves from Tiara Cast that I've been hoarding since they closed. And this is, again, my all-in-one ear wire where I made my loop, did my bead design, and turned the rest of the wire into the ear hook. And like I said, these are so fun. You don't need an earring back. You just pop them in. Can't keep track of what I have in my ears, but you just pop them in, no earring back. They're so easy to wear. Just I just love them. And then I did another pair with the Enchanted Pansy box, and this one has just a little loop, and they are made for my interchangeable lever back ear wires. So let's get that on there. And I did this pair, I show you in the video. I did them as a mirror image. So I have one of the little Tiara Cast leaves coming off to the left, and then on this earring, the little Tiara Cast leaf is going off to the right. You don't have to mirror your earrings, and some people don't like it. Some people just like them to be identical. But on certain ones, especially like with a little, I actually used a charm and strung it sideways, so it's now like a leaf in the design instead of a charm. On this pair, it's acting as, you know, as a normal charm, but I just did a little something different with it on this one. But with a thing like that, I really like, I think it frames the face to have like a leaf to the left and a leaf to the right. So that was how I made those. And then let's see, did I miss anything from the Enchanted Pansy? No, but I was going to skip some of my bead boxes this month because I was out for weeks and several weeks. And when I came home, it was the end of the month, first of the month, when all the companies shipped their boxes to me. And honestly, the pile of bead boxes, I got overwhelmed, and I sent all the companies an email explaining the situation. And I said, well, if any of them are upset with me or they no longer want me to represent their company, then that's just the way it's got to be. I was just too overwhelmed, still sick. And I have to say, every single company, every single one was so supportive. They said, don't worry, get well, take care of your son. I mean, just as I said, the community here, between the kind, supportive, the prayers, the well wishes, the get well gift, and the way the companies treated me during the weeks that I was out, just really amazing, like really, really wonderful. So I digress. I was not going to do some of the boxes, and one of my favorite things that I get is the dollar bead box and the dollar bead bag. It's a subscription that I was getting years before I was on YouTube, just something that I loved. Great price, high quality check glass, some findings. Their website has the most amazing check glass buttons. I found some of the prettiest pearls on their website when I started my pearl series, but I was going to skip it this month. But honestly, I just loved it so much. I sat down thinking, I'm just going to make a pair of earrings and just show everybody the beads. And that turned into 4 pieces of jewelry so far. And I still have another one here that I would like to do. But I did, again, this is on my, just a little plain hook at the top of these hex seed beads that were in the box, these beautiful lentil beads. And I just used a ball head pin and made this little pendulum earring and pop it on my interchangeable lever back ear wires. And I just have this really, really sweet, I love these. Like, this is my style. I love stick earrings, and I love downward earrings, and I love a little bit of movement when I make a pair of earrings. So there was that. But then also with that box, I used the beads. There were these beautiful Lucerna bicones in the box, and these fluted clear check glass beads, and the lavenders just were so beautiful. This is an 8mm druck that came in the box. And so I did like a little bit more, how can we say, a little bit more of a statement earring, you know, for spring and summer. And I just put these on some fancy ear wires. So they're a little bit more drama, but they're still sweet. They're still, you know, flowers. And so this technique here, maybe everybody knows how to do this. This is the way that you would do like a daisy flower if you're with needle and thread. But I didn't use seed beads. I used the beads in the box, so it makes it a little bit bigger. And I didn't do it on needle and thread. I did it on a finer gauge wire, and it's a simple technique. And in this video, I showed how to not only make the little daisy pattern as a component. Whoops, this one's twisted a little bit. As a component, but also I showed how to do the same exact technique and make your own charms. And I'll show you what I did with that. And I have to thank you, Avonda, because I was, you know, trying to get back to work, and she was so sweet. And I know she's watching, and I love that she's actually watching so closely what I do. But I missed a little green seed bead. I used my Adornable Elements seed beads. And when I assembled this component, I skipped the seed bead, or maybe it fell off the wire, and I didn't notice. I was pausing a lot to cough, and then I edited all of that out. And my darling friend Avonda, she said, Joey, you missed the green seed beads in the earring. So I repaired it, and thank you for letting me know, Avonda, because I might not have noticed. Even when I did my final video, I still didn't notice. So I appreciate that so much. I thank you so much for letting me know. So it is repaired. And so then I went to a bracelet, and I did the same little component here with, you know, making a connector basically. And then I showed how to do some of your own, like, have you ever purchased a charm set where like the set of charms coordinated, but they were all different? I mean, I have, but they're so easy to make. So I did the same technique, but instead of making a connector, I made a charm. And then I took the beads that are in the center of my little flowers and did this little cool wire working technique to make charms out of those 6mm beads, and just embellished my extender chain on this bracelet. And this bracelet, I just love. It's adjustable. My lobster claw clasp can hook into any space on the chain the same way that I did my other bracelets. It's one of my favorite ways to make a bracelet, and also an anklet, because if you do like an extra section of your beads here and a couple more links of chain, you have an anklet that's adjustable, and you get this pretty little dangle on your ankle above your sandal. So it's one of my favorite things to do. But I just love this month's box. I actually love it every month, but these beautiful purples and lavenders and just the clear, the fluted bead, the whole box was just stunning. One of my favorite beads in the world is this Lucerna pressed check glass bicone. I love the geometry and the angles of it, but it's soft. It doesn't have sharp edges like some bicones. And then let's see, I did one more little pair of earrings with that box. And again, one of my favorite beads, these turbine beads, were in this box. This is a rather expensive check glass cut to do. It's faceted table cutting around the center, and then the little turbine twirl on the top and bottom of this bead. And I just wanted to feature the beads, so I did a super simple earring, but quite effective and lovely. A few links of my chain from Purity Beads, a little splayed ball head pin, and kind of a fancy ear wire with some CZs in it, and just made a little bead pendulum with those turbine beads. And like, this is my style. I could grab for this every day, and for me also, it's uncomplicated to just, you know, put them in. So I absolutely love, love, love those. And then what do we have here? Oh, I get 2 boxes every month directly from the Czech Republic. The company is called Craftica, and I really love getting those. One of them is a DIY jewelry kit, and it includes everything from your stringing material, your lobster clasp, your jump rings, your crimp beads, like everything that you need to make two pieces of jewelry every single month. And you get a link to a full video tutorial. And I love that box. It's called Bohem Style. So if you don't love designing, if you don't love like curating and pulling your beads together, you just want to make and do the handiwork, that box is perfect for you. But I love getting it because you get such beautiful supplies, and I take it and just do my own thing. You know, I mean, the supplies are there to make 2 pieces of jewelry. And so what I did this month is this really cool boho chic bracelet. I tend to, was leather in the box, and I tend to, when I get leather, I jump right into knots, you know, especially for boho jewelry. I do a lot of knotting, but I wanted to do something different. And so this is just a little component made with the flat leather and the check glass beads and some wire, and it just adds texture and a really cool shape, and it's just so pretty. And there was these oval table cut beads in the box, and these beautiful orange Picasso washed leaves, and another table cut bead here, this little pinwheel flower bead, I forget what it's called, and there was chain in the box, and I just did a little dangle. And like, this is like boho chic. It's all the mixed media, just like we see in the boho style, from glass to metal to leather to chain. I mean, just all the things, and I just love it. And so the other box that comes from Craftica is called Czech Beads Exclusive. And with that box is wonderful. There's like 26 or more items every single month. It's a sampler of Czech glass beads, but the sampler is curated, so everything goes together. And so with that box, I made this spring/summer garden bracelet. Really cool technique with this, with Brazilian waxed cord and some charm components, and a button closure, a little Czech glass button closure. And this bracelet is just so, it's dimensional, but it's very fluid. It's very lightweight. It's just beautiful. It's just really, really beautiful, and it just screams spring. It's loaded with flowers and leaves, and it's just like almost scarf-like. I love stringing with Brazilian waxed cord. Like, I did another bracelet this month. The one that I did, this one that I did, it's chunkier. This one's a little bit, you see it's a little bit heavier, but you still get, with the waxed cord and the knots, you still get this almost scarf-like jewelry that just drapes beautifully. just drapes beautifully on the box. I love to play with them. I just can't put it down. And then to go with that, there were these teardrop beads in the box, and I did another one of my all-in-one, where my drop, my drop on my wire becomes the ear wire. And so I just pop one of those in. I guess I was on the same idea line this month because, of course, this is my favorite style of earring, pendulum stick, like downward rod earrings. But I also just find, if I'm not feeling good, if I just want to make, this is so easy. You don't have to search through a lot of supplies to find just the right ear wire. Take your wire and your beads, do a pattern, and make your ear wire. Like, it's just so easy to do. And of course, you can adjust this. You could, do the ear wire right down here. You could make this really long and dramatic. You can fill this up with beads. There's, a lot of variations on it. So I think, let me see if that is everything. I think I actually have come to the end of my tray. Let me look and see. And get the same two. I do have to go to the grocery store today, so I have the same earrings on when I not have 2 different earrings, although maybe I'll start a new trend. I think that is everything. And again, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you all so much for your support. The loyalty that I see in this community is just doesn't exist that much in this world. Some of you are unbelievably supportive. You would never think to not leave me a comment under one of my videos, and the YouTube algorithm just loves that. And I just, you are all so wonderful. And the comments, even though I was not responding during the illness, the comments just kept coming, and they were just so supportive, and all the prayers. And you know, I just can't thank you enough. So I wanted to do a try on video before I got behind, but I really wanted to thank Brenda and Robert McClendon and all of you, because as I said, comments actually made me cry. Maybe I was a little weepy because of being sick, but the comments were truly heartfelt. And one of you even, I was reading it and I got tears in my eyes, and I typed that, and within 3 minutes, you responded and said, well, I meant it. And it's like, you guys are just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And so if you have not subscribed to my channel, I hope you will, and tap the bell notification. I always remind everybody of that, because I have a pretty rigorous upload schedule for videos. And that way, when you look at my thumbnail, if you see something that you'd like to see how I did it, you'll get the notification. And again, always check my description box. I work pretty hard on them. I know from the comments that there are a lot of you brand new to jewelry. You are still collecting your tools one thing at a time, which is how I did it over the years. And so I list my favorite tools always under my videos. And then if you see me working with something and you like the way it looks, it seems like it might be good for you, the link is right there for you. And it helps out my channel too when you use my links. So it's a win-win for everybody. So check my description box. I hug all of you. You're just the most amazing group of people. And I hope everybody's safe and well and having fun on your beading mats. Ciao, friends.